Right now at 5, a former Monroe County nurse accused of sexually assaulting a patient, and that's just the beginning.
Plus, Eau Claire officials are eyeing the city's trees. Find out why.
Watching WKBT La Crosse, this is News 8 Now at 5.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Ken Kozarowski.
And I'm Emily Brown. In Monroe County, a former nurse is accused of having a sexual relationship with a patient. 29-year-old Melissa Knutson was part of the county's Department of Health and Human Services. In 2023, Knutson told police she was raped by a patient in 2022. She was reportedly afraid to report it, fearing threats from the patient. But text messages allegedly show that Knutson initiated the relationship and tried to hide it. Tonight, Knutson is free on a $2,500 cash bond.
La Crosse police need your help in finding a missing 14-year-old. Nabria Leggins was last seen 11 days ago. She may go by the name Bria, and her hair was dyed blue and black. Police say if you see her, do not approach and call authorities immediately.
Turning to the Wisconsin Supreme Court race and a big endorsement for Susan Crawford. Former President Barack Obama throwing his weight behind her. Earlier today, Crawford brought her Common Sense Justice Tour to La Crosse. She reminded voters of her history of fighting for everyone in Wisconsin.
Well, I've always worked throughout my career to try to use my experience and the skills that I've gained to protect Wisconsinites under our laws and Constitution, and that's very much at stake in this election. So that's really why I'm running.
Crawford also made a stop in Chippewa Falls today and will be in Hudson tomorrow. The Supreme Court race could be causing a surge in early voting. According to the Wisconsin Elections Commission, over 345,000 voters have returned ballots, compared with about 233,000 during the last court race. The election will determine whether the court stays under a liberal control.
The race to be the next state superintendent is heating up. Republican-backed Brittany Kinzer held a press Zoom call today. Kinzer taking on the Democratic-backed incumbent Jill Underly. Kinzer weighing in on the money being poured into the campaigns.
I'm a first-time candidate, and I didn't know how this all worked, to be honest. I'm learning, and it seems that, yes, you have to have money from the parties to run this race.
According to WisconsinDemocracy.org, Kinzer has raised over $300,000, Underly about $140,000.
Well, the problems keep coming for former Minnesota Senator Justin Eichhorn. Governor Tim Walz calling for a special election on April 29th to fill the vacant seat. It comes as Eichhorn's wife files for divorce. The ex-senator was arrested during an underage sex sting. New court documents reveal he may have lied to prosecutors and tried to hide evidence.
I don't give a crap what occupation you have. If you come here and mess with kids, you're going to jail.
Eichhorn faces a detention hearing tomorrow.
Eau Claire's tree rules could be changing.
The city council is taking up a new ordinance right now. News 8 Now's Grace Monk has more on why.
Eau Claire City Council is voting on a resolution that aims to protect the city's trees. The resolution will update how trees are cared for, the approved species list, and licensing fees for tree care companies. It will also help establish an urban forestry board in one of the city's departments. Eau Claire's current ordinance was last updated in 1970. The updates come after residents complained about trees being knocked down for construction.
Oftentimes it's a street is being redone, and all of a sudden all the street trees start disappearing along the street. People have noticeable, they'll sort of opens up their entire neighborhood and doesn't have a canopy. The sun beats down on the street. We've been hearing people complaining about that.
Worthman says this doesn't officially update the ordinance, but it starts the process. In Eau Claire, Grace Monk, News 8 Now.
$2 million. That's the security price tag for the NFL draft in Green Bay. The counties will help with the cost. The NFL will pay for things like road barriers and fences. 250,000 people are expected to attend to the three-day event, April 24th through the 26th.
Changes to the Mega Millions game start April 5th. Ticket prices will jump from $2 to $5. Also, every play will include a randomly assigned multiplier between 2 and 10 at no additional cost. Lottery officials hope higher ticket prices will lead to bigger jackpots.
Well, overall, not a bad Tuesday. We had sunshine, but we do have a little bit of shower activity coming this evening, and that's kind of the trend through Wednesday night. Some periods of light rain too, but a lot of areas will remain dry throughout this entire period. But we do have that opportunity, along with more milder temperatures. Right now, you can see the activity there to the south, right to the low that's pushing to the east. We have a little bit of light precipitation. Really, if we zoom in onto the area as we get closer, you can see a lot of that is west of the river, and a lot of that probably isn't reaching the ground. But that's what we're tracking for this evening. A little bit of shower activity just mainly along and west of the Mississippi. If you go further north and east, you have less cloud cover and you're not going to see much in the way of this activity, but it may touch La Crosse, points to the east all the way down to Decorah as it pushes to the southeast. Otherwise, cloud cover for the rest of the area's temperatures lowering back into the 30s or 40s. Overnight lows will be 10 on cloud cover, more to the 30s to the south, will be to the upper teens to low 20s to the north. We'll have more clearing skies. Otherwise, as we go out through the rest of the forecast period, will break down. We do have above average temperatures still coming. Yes, 70s are still possible going into Friday. Unfortunately, it is going to be a wet weekend ahead too, and we'll break that down a bit later.
All right. Thanks, Greg. Well, the new City of La Crosse Child Care Initiative aims to help providers and local employers.
News 8 Now's Allison Fergit has more from the newsroom.
Every day in the Cooley region, thousands of parents drop their kids off at childcare on their way to work. But a lack of childcare options is creating problems because when parents don't have reliable childcare, they can't go to work, and that's costing businesses. So the Parenting Place, in partnership with the city, created Together We Can. The program reimburses La Crosse employers up to 50% of their investment when they partner with a local childcare business.
Whether that be reserved childcare slots, waitlist priority, tuition discounts, that partnership is up to the employer and the childcare programs.
There are some general requirements to participate, like both the child care provider and employer must be located in La Crosse. Applications are open now for Together We Can. You can contact the Parenting Place if you're interested in applying. Coming up tonight at 6, hear from one child care provider about the benefits of these type of partnerships. Reporting in the newsroom, Allison Fergit, News 8 Now.
All right, thank you, Allison. Well, today is Diabetes Alert Day, and the La Crosse Lions Club sponsored a free screening test at the Hy-Vee today. 1 in 11 people in Wisconsin have diabetes, and 1 in 3 U.S. adults are pre-diabetic. The screening took 10 to 15 minutes.
Blood sugar levels, you don't have a symptom necessarily. You don't know when it's high or it's low. You will get dizzy if it gets too low. But this is really a kind of a simple way to learn a little bit more about it, just a little self-discovery.
Health officials say you should be tested for pre-diabetes or diabetes once a year.
Well, Rudy's is open for the season. The popular retro drive-in staple on La Crosse Street will be open through October. You can grab a burger and root beer from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily.
The excitement of everything coming back, the public's excited, we appreciate that, you know, but you just look on Facebook and it's all the shares and all the likes, and everybody's looking forward to it.
They always do. Rudy's in Sparta, meanwhile, will be opening soon.
Still to come, new questions in that stunning security lapse on a text chain. What the president now says.
Plus, an attempted firebombing at a Texas Tesla dealership. All those details after the break.
You wouldn't buy the first vehicle you saw.
Trust me, it's perfectly safe.
I'll take it. So don't hire the first personal injury lawyer you call.
Trust me.
Where do I sign? Object to anything less than the best. Call BGR.
When I was growing up, I don't think I ever thought I wanted to be a roofer. But now that I am, I realize how important it really is. Everything from where we work to where we store stuff to where we live needs to have a great roof. Some say that a roof protects your biggest investment, your home. I say a roof protects your most valuable assets, you and your loved ones. Let us show you what the Larson experience is all about. Remember, when you think roofing, think Larson, Wisconsin's best roofing experience.
Pivot! Shut up! Pivot! Shut up! Shut up! Pivot! Shut up! Pivot! Shut up! Pivot! Shut up! Okay, hold on. I don't think it's gonna pivot anymore.
Just like pivoting from heating to cooling season, it's a difficult adjustment. Pivot in the summer, called GNT.
Pivot! Shut up!
Called GNT. For the best heating and air conditioning guaranteed.
As I deteriorated, I needed something that would allow me to go from floor in the garage to floor in the home. Jason helped introduce to me all sorts of accessibility equipment. I have no questions about credibility and research. Personally, if somebody was asking me, I would say, here's who I would call.
Hi, I'm Jason with Access Elevator. Stop in and see us today.
A 5-year-old girl violated. The predator faced up to 60 years behind bars. Radical Susan Crawford sided with him, released on a $500 bond, and lived across from a school. His sentence, just 4 years in prison. Now he's free, all because Susan Crawford and her warped, soft-on-crime agenda. Catch and release Crawford. Don't take the risk. Fair Courts America is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Hiring the wrong personal injury attorney can cost you a lot. Researching personal injury attorneys costs you nothing. We're confident that your research will lead you to buy Goff & Rohde. BGR, object to anything less than the best.
New developments in that military strike messaging app debacle.
Yeah, President Trump appears to be backing up his national security team. Erica Brown has more from Capitol Hill.
President Trump says he stands behind his national security team after sensitive details of a U.S. bombing attack on Houthi rebels were discussed on the messaging app Signal in a text chain that included a reporter.
We have an amazing group. Our national security now is stronger than it's ever been.
Jeffrey Goldberg, the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic, was inadvertently included in the group chat.
I've never seen anything like this. I've never heard of anything quite like this.
Goldberg said military operations and their timing were discussed and said Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth shared sensitive operational details, including information about targets, weapons, and attack sequencing. Waltz defended his team's use of the Signal app and tried to point the finger back at Goldberg.
This one in particular, I've never met, don't know, never communicated with, and we are looking into and reviewing how the heck he got into this room.
On Capitol Hill, reaction appears split mostly along party lines, with Democrats sharply criticizing the leak and Republicans downplaying the significance.
Look, mistakes happen. It was a mistake. It is what it is, and it won't happen again. I know that.
Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard and CIA Director John Ratcliffe were on the text chain and were already scheduled to testify at a hearing Tuesday, where Democrats demanded answers about whether classified material was shared.
I'm not going to get into the specifics.
Why are you going to get into the specifics? Is it because it's all classified?
Because this is currently under review by the National Security
Because
Council.
it's all classified? If it's not classified, share the text now.
The president says no classified material was included in the texts. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
An attempt to firebomb a Tesla dealership in Texas is raising the alarm about attacks on Elon Musk's car company. Police say multiple incendiary devices were found and removed at a Tesla showroom. Since January, there have been at least 32 vandalism incidents across 16 states, impacting cars, charging stations, or dealerships.
I think they're going to suffer very grave consequences because they're really terrorists when you think about it.
This comes as protests are taking place nationwide against the role of Elon Musk in the federal government and Doge spending cuts. Musk said that Doge employees are receiving death threats. We will have more news ahead.
But first,
despite the little rain we'll have this evening and some Wednesday night, our temperatures are still going to be climbing up throughout the week. And in fact, a lot of areas could see the 70 by Friday. Unfortunately, we do have a wet weekend ahead. We'll break all that down coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
During the spring savings event at PM Sleep Center, you'll save up to $400 on the Beauty Rest Black Collection. It's for a limited time, so shop for the best selection only at PM Sleep Center, giving La Crosse a good night's sleep for over 35 years.
Every kid deserves a great education. As state superintendent, I helped pass a new literacy law, raised math and science standards, and expanded technical education. My opponent is a lobbyist who's never held a Wisconsin teaching license. She's worked to drain money from public schools to pay for private schools, raise property taxes, and eliminate teacher license requirements. I'm Jill Underly. I'll protect our public schools and never stop working to improve them.
Hey, Dominic here. We always get asked,
What do you have for ground pork?
With over 40 blends at our outlet store, we recommend these 4: Bavarian sausage, breakfast sausage, Italian, and pork. First, you need ground pork, preferably from a local meat shop. Mix in 2 to 3 teaspoons of seasoning per pound, make into patties, and cook thoroughly until done. All 4 of these choices will make great tasting sausage patties, and they're low in sodium. Get these seasonings and more at the outlet store. And it's time to pig out.
It's not very often a fella gets to offer the best products in the marketplace at a price lower than most others. When I look at this beautiful showroom, when I consider the quality of our products and the team of 80 exceptional professionals, we should be higher priced, but we're not. If you have any doubts for your next home improvement project, you should contact the Board Store today. It's not all the sales and discounts, it's the bottom line that counts, and you'll get no better bottom line than at the Board Store Home Improvements.
Voters deserve to know what our records are.
Susan Crawford's record? Disturbing and dangerous. A 7-year-old girl sexually assaulted. The attacker faced 100 years. Crawford let him off with only 4.
I don't regret that sentence.
A 5-year-old violated. The predator should have rotted in prison. He got out in just 2 years. She protected them, not us.
I don't regret that sentence. I am proud of the work that I've done.
Susan Crawford, putting criminals over your kids.
Save some green with PM Sleep Center's March mattress sale. Over 15 queen mattresses, $5.99 or less. Queen pillow top mattresses start at $3.99. Twin mattresses start at $159. Stop in soon at PM Sleep Center, giving La Crosse a good night's sleep for over 35 years.
Yeah, we're going to have a few showers this evening, and then we have another opportunity for Wednesday night, which is general light rain. Not expecting a lot in the way of precipitation amounts, but our temperatures are still going to be coming up too. So there's all that activity for this evening. It's only going to probably last to about 10 or 11 p.m. And really, I think most of it will stay west of the river, but still we could see a few sprinkles maybe through La Crosse going down to Prairie du Chien. Further northeast of it, not going to expect anything, just cloud cover, and temperatures will continue to fall. So that's what we're looking at for this evening. Otherwise, as we go throughout the rest of the night, generally temperatures will fall back into the 20s. Further north, we'll have less clouds, probably nowhere closer to freezing as clouds kind of linger further south towards like Prairie du Chien area. Now, we have another opportunity. There's another little weak disturbance coming through. That won't happen until early Wednesday afternoon, probably Wednesday evening, in fact, too. We'll have that come out of the Twin Cities. This generally is a more widespread light rain, kind of a band that'll kind of slide southeast. Really after about 6, they'll kind of spread across the area and produce maybe some light rain. There could be a narrow area that produces a little bit more, but generally just light rain basically after about 7. This will go throughout the night, but then eventually push off to the southeast going in about 2 or 3 morning. So I don't expect this to actually impact the Thursday morning commute with any of this light rain, but it may impact the evening commute depending on how fast this just arrive. So that precipitation, 2 events, total, maybe some areas may get up to a 1/4 of an inch with that second one going Wednesday night, but all in all, it should be fairly light amounts for a lot of places. Otherwise, for temperatures tomorrow, we should be back in the mid to upper 50s, maybe close to 60. We'll have more sun in the afternoon before the clouds increase with that next little disturbance coming down. Overall, not too bad of a day. Then as we go into Thursday, we'll have more sun. We won't have the precipitation. It moves out before even we get to the morning hour. We should get to near 60 for a lot of areas. Mid-50s up to the north. Light winds, but out of the east. So all in all, not too bad of a Thursday, too. Things begin to change then when we go into Friday. Notice this temperature grading across the area. We'll be mid-70s south, all the way up to the north, mid-50s, maybe even low 50s. There's going to be a front sitting right here, and this could change a little bit depending on how high. It has kind of inched forward a little bit northern for the last couple days, so our 70s have kind of expanded a little bit, but it's going to be a tricky forecast Friday with what goes on. Now, basically, what it goes beyond Friday, it gets even trickier, really. If you're north Friday night, we look like rain, even some thunderstorms. Saturday really depends on location. If you're north of I-94, we might have that wintry mix, even ice potential going on. If we go further south, it looks like a rain to snow changeover sometime Sunday or Sunday night. The good news is not a lot of accumulation with this. And typically this time of year, if it's during the day, roads are not an issue. But definitely if you have plans, especially if you go further northeast right now, they could have some significant ice just north of the area. This is ice, and once you get to the pink, you're looking at maybe a 1/2 inch of sleet, ice pellets, freezing rain, all that combination. So Rusk County, areas to the east, definitely have to pay attention to this forecast going into Saturday night into Sunday, because impacts could be pretty significant as you go further northeast. So something to keep in mind. We'll refine the forecast, but it is going to be a tricky one for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. The one thing we know for certain, it's going to be wet, and it's going to cool back down to the 40s, potentially some snow Sunday or Sunday night. So we could have a little bit of a road issue depending on how much snow falls. Otherwise, cooler next week back into the 40s. So enjoy the dry conditions through the 70s because unfortunately, the weekend looks wet once again.
Sure does. All right, Greg, thanks very much. Still to come, a new space discovery.
What NASA just found out about the cosmic tornado after.
Women taking the lead both on screen and behind the scenes. How an all-female film festival is changing the face of outdoor adventure in La Crosse tomorrow on News 8 Now this morning.
Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions, your choice for quality, affordable windows installed by our experienced team. Contact us or stop into our showroom today for your free estimate.
Brad Schimmel would ban abortions with no exceptions for rape or incest or the mother's health, and jail doctors who perform them. You have the right to make your own health care decisions. Don't let Brad Schimmel take that right away.
At Overhead Door Company, we repair any garage door and only install the best. Serving up to 100 miles outside of the Onalaska, Wisconsin area. When you need a door company you can trust with your life, call Overhead Door Company of the Seven Rivers region.
Wisconsin, one of those places where families spend their winters among our frozen lakes and snow-covered hills. With all the fun we're having, it's easy to take for granted how we warm up, by the fire or simply adjusting our thermostat. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? It might be simple to imagine for 60 seconds, but for many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. Freezing temperatures aren't just uncomfortable for them, they can be deadly. Make a real difference by providing a hand up for a neighbor in need. No matter the amount, every dollar helps. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
The new Nacho Taco Bravo from Taco John's. Our famous beef crispy taco wrapped in a soft tortilla, all held together by refried beans and warm nacho cheese. This is Nacho Average Taco. Get two for just $6 only at Taco John's.
Brad Schimmel would ban abortions with no exceptions for rape or incest or the mother's health, and jail doctors who perform them. You have the right to make your own health care decisions. Don't let Brad Schimmel take that right away.
NASA now knows the origin of this frothy image. This is a random alignment of the, quote, cosmic tornado. They are outflows produced by jets launched from a nearby forming star.
The outflows can extend for light years, creating shock waves. The material heats to higher temperatures and then cools, emitting visible light.
Looks like something straight out of a sci-fi or fantasy show.
Sure does.
Looks pretty darn cool.
They've got like weather systems just like we do down here on Earth. Yeah. Cosmic tornadoes and sun flares, sunstorms, and all of that.
Some of the coolest names are in the field of science.
So
Cosmic
cool.
tornado.
Love it. All right, Greg has a final look at your forecast right after this.
Knutson Roofing, locally owned with 20 years of experience to get your project done right the first time. Whether it's roofing, window, or siding installation, we offer reliable, dependable, and quality work we stand behind. Knutson Roofing. Call or visit us online today.
At Vernon Memorial Healthcare, we believe in your birth, your way. From prenatal visits to postpartum care, we provide continuous support, respect your birth plan, and ensure a smooth transition from pregnancy to parenthood. With expert lactation consultants and a comforting home-like environment, we're here for you before, during, and after delivery. Vernon Memorial Healthcare, where your journey is in caring hands.
When I was growing up, I don't think I ever thought I wanted to be a roofer. But now that I am, I realize how important it really is. Everything from where we work to where we store stuff to where we live needs to have a great roof. Some say that a roof protects your biggest investment, your home. I say a roof protects your most valuable assets, you and your loved ones. Let us show you what the Larson experience is all about. Remember, when you think roofing, think Larson, Wisconsin's best roofing experience.
Freedom is the ability to choose the path that makes you happy. Start down your path today in a Jeep.
Save over 10% off MSRP plus discounts on a 2024 Jeep Wrangler today during the Jeep Celebration Sales Event. Redesigned exterior elements and updated features offer a refreshed take on the original icon of adventure, Jeep Wrangler. This offer ends March 31st.
My last name is Pischke, and that's where you can find your Jeep. Pischke Motors West Salem or Pischke Motors La Crosse.
Voters deserve to know what our records are.
Susan Crawford's record? Disturbing and dangerous. A 7-year-old girl sexually assaulted. The attacker faced 100 years. Crawford let him off with only 4.
I don't regret that sentence.
A 5-year-old violated. The predator should have rotted in prison. He got out in just 2 years. She protected them, not us.
I don't regret that sentence. I am proud of the work that I've done.
Susan Crawford, putting criminals over your kids.
Knutson Roofing, locally owned with 20 years of experience to get your project done right the first time. Whether it's roofing, window, or siding installation, we offer reliable, dependable, and quality work we stand behind. Knutson Roofing. Call or visit us online today.
All right, most areas will not see that precipitation this evening, but if you're west of La Crosse, you might see a little bit of sprinkles or a shower this evening. Otherwise, still fairly quiet, pretty seasonable temperatures overnight. Tomorrow will be dry, but we do have that rain coming in Wednesday evening. Warmer Thursday, Friday 70s for a lot of the areas, and then unfortunately the weekend gets wet and kind of messy too.
Sure looks that way. Thanks, Greg.
Thanks for joining us at 5.
We'll see you at 6.